Ashley, what is our next main topic today?
Next up is from Adnan Ramuni. Dwayne Johnson recently went on his Instagram to thank people for Shazam's weekend box office and teased that Black Adam could be shooting next year. Should we take his word seriously, or is he just doing what he does best and hyping up the crowd? Thanks.
Okay, wow. The Rock or somebody from DC or some producer saying, we're going to be shooting the Black Adam movie anytime now. Really? Surprise, surprise. As if we haven't seen this song and dance a million times before. Okay, so for those of you who don't know what he's talking about, Dwayne The Rock Johnson got on his Instagram. Now, I got to say this too. I'm a huge fan of Dwayne The Rock. Everybody knows this. I'm a massive fan of The Rock. I love The Rock. But he put up this Instagram video that I got to say was a little off-putting. and I'm a big fan of Dwayne Johnson. Everybody knows this. I love me, The Rock.
You do.
But I will admit, this video he put up was a little off-putting because basically he was taking credit for everything about Shazam. Like, he was like, I'm the producer on this, and I said we need to do the movie this way, and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, he spent the first 2 minutes of this 3 or 4 minute video just basically taking credit for Shazam and thanking the audience for coming out and checking it out and blah, 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 blah. And I found that a little bit off-putting. But that aside, one of the things The Rock then did say was that, it was really important. We felt like you have these two big characters, Shazam, Black Adam. They couldn't tell their two origin stories in one movie, which I agree. If you wanted Black Adam to be a significant character in this universe. So the key thing that he said, Rob, in this was he said, so I've been living, breathing this character for the past number of years, and we should be shooting it within the year. Okay? They should be shooting it within the year. We've heard this before. Rob, let me ask you, is there any reason we should believe Dwayne The Rock Johnson now when he says, we're going to be shooting this movie within the year? Are they actually, because they announced this guy as Black Adam at CinemaCon 5 years ago. We're still sitting here with no Black Adam. Do you think they're actually going to follow through this time?
Well, first of all, let me say, I loved Zachary Levi playing Shazam.
Oh, I agree.
And I loved what happened at the end of Shazam as a longtime fan.
Me too.
And I walked out, as much as I might have felt disappointment by Shazam, I left the theater having had a good time. I just had high expectations. What it did leave me with was a sense of, oh, now you've already laid the groundwork for a Black Adam movie. Everybody would now understand. You've done the heavy lifting that if they kept talking about, I'm like, how can you make a Black Adam movie first? Now I'm entirely convinced.
That was odd.
Yeah, now I'm entirely convinced. They announce a Black Adam movie, especially if Hobbs and Shaw becomes a billion-dollar grosser. Dwayne, with Rampage and Skyscraper, those didn't do as well as maybe they'd hoped. Jumanji is coming out. Jumanji 2 coming off the heels of a hugely successful first Jumanji. Dwayne The Rock Johnson, his star is not diminished in the least. Yeah. And I am giddy at the prospect of seeing The Rock as Black Adam coming out of this movie. And even more so now than ever before, because there's a fight brewing that I want to see.
and we don't want to spoil anything, but there is a place in Shazam that you could argue they tease Black Adam a little bit. So we're not going to give any details.
Yeah, and you know what? Maybe he's like, in a way, it's like if you watch the old Speed Racer comics, Speed Racer never knows that Racer X is his long-lost brother, Rex Racer. And if, they play it like Black Adam was Shazam before Shazam was Shazam, he's the prodigal son, he's the older brother who returns to wreak havoc. I mean, there's something really interesting there. And I think they've definitely done the groundwork. And I think if they announce a Black Adam movie now, the response is going to be huge. So I think, depending on the worldwide box office, and especially the box office the second week of Shazam, look, again, as much as I might personally not have liked Shazam, I think there was a lot to love there. But it made me want to see a Black Adam movie, and I want to see Black Adam take on Shazam. I think that could be really great.
And I think you just touched on a couple reasons why I think this time maybe we can believe them. because Shazam has come out, exceeded what their projections were, although, underperformed from what I thought it could have made, but still exceeded what their projections were. They've gotten the response they've wanted from audiences, and I think you're right. Now, I still feel, though, like, if they don't go into production on this thing for another year, that means it's going to be minimum 2 years till we get Black Adam, then however long we get to see Shazam again. But I think for all the reasons you pointed out and others, Rob, I think this time when they say we're doing Black Adam, I actually believe them this time. I actually believe them.
They've really explained. Everyone's going to understand the origin of Black Adam. You don't have to tell an origin story, not a big full-blown origin story. You get where he came from now. So if he shows up, he gives a few lines of dialogue, he explains his backstory, you're good to go. You're off to the races. So you don't need, this could be the Dark Knight of the Shazam franchise. If Shazam is Batman Begins, a Black Adam movie could be the Dark Knight of Shazam movies.